I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part.
Hello, everyone, and good afternoon to you guys. We're gonna be playing some Red Dead Redemption.
I'm
Oh my
doing
goodness
my
gracious
part.
me! Oh, everything's
I'm doing
happening.
my part.
I'm dying ready. My God. Hi. That was not well coordinated by any of us involved, so... Whoo-wee, my goodness gracious. Okay. I may have just scoffed down a pasty, a pastry that has filled goods. I don't know what it's called. You know, like it's a pie, but it's semicircle. What's that? Like, I always say it wrong, and people always say a pasta. Yeah, it's a stuffed pasta. So is it like a pasta? So, but a pasty. Anyway, I just scoffed one down. Pasty. Not a calzone, but I see what you're saying. Hi, Cheesy Yes. Hi, Sahid. Let me see. A pasty. Exactly. Not pasties. That's a different one. Ass pasty. So it's like a Cornish pasty. I guess if they're Cornish, they might sound a bit different. North Star, hello. Not a panini. I'm sure. I'm bringing it up. Here you go. Look, we got the food straight off the bat. So it looks like this. A pasty. Like a donkey ass. A pasty. And they're very delicious. It's very similar to a meat pie. So it's got the pastry, and then it's filled with variety of goods. The bakery near me, because I forgot to go get a loaf of bread. So my lunch was a little bit of a rush. I don't even know a stromboli. I looked that up. But I rushed down to the bakery, and they do a red Thai curry pasty. A pasty. And it was pretty delicious. So you can see it's got a whole bunch of goods in it. And you can make it with meat. You can make it this one. There's the other thing that it might be thinking I'm looking up. But they are very good. And apparently the history behind them, I'd have to double check this, is that they have that edge designed to be grab and go, because that part you're not meant to eat or something. I'll look it up. Oh my God, I just realized all the burlesque stuff at the top. Oopsies. But yes, they were very tasty, and I scoffed that down literally in the starting soon screen. So if I have anything in my teeth, please don't hesitate to tell me, because there is a high possibility that I do. Ooh, you're so right. They do look like an empanada. I wonder what these taste like. I'm assuming that a pasty could be an empanada, depending on the flavors that you do. Yeah, look, that's even got beef in it. This looks a little bit greasier on the inside, maybe, in a way that looks incredibly delicious. But same shape. I don't know if it will be made out of the same type of flour or anything like that. Wait, they used to make them with a savory side and a sweet side in the same pocket? That seems very bold. I can't imagine that working, as in pasties. But how? Well, I guess a better chef than I would know. And then I wanted to look up stromboli as well. They were made for miners. Yeah, because their hands would get dirty, right? And so they got that side of it. Yeah, so that they could eat it like that. Best you spell it with a Y, yes, rather than the plural. Hi, Yannick. I think they were originally as an easy-to-take-along lunch. There we go. And then, yeah, the miners. Okay, I thought it was just laborers in general, but miners make sense. Hi, Cam. Good to see you. Stromboli. Stromboli is very different, but it's its whole own thing. And I keep on seeing a volcano or something. What's all this, then? So stromboli food looks like a roulade almost. Pizza stromboli, that looks actually really bloody tasty, doesn't it? That looks actually very, very good if it would load. And then also it's a volcano. So I'm guessing that the food is named after the volcano, maybe? Lighthouse of the Mediterranean. Neat. It looks sick as hell, both of them. Yeah, closer to a calzone. I mean, while we're here, we may as well look that up as well. Yeah, that one is kind of like if we have Stromboli here, calzone, and then we're starting to get to empanadas and pasties after that. Hey, username. That is my take on it. Goku, I am well. I am indeed. I took the morning off and now I'm feeling a little bit better. And I'm very excited because we're going to play some horsey game. So I've been enjoying my Red Dead Redemption actually. It's taken me a while to get into it, but I think I've managed to really cement it. Do I want to be cementing? I've really started to understand my views on the game, I think is what I mean. And my short notes, if you can believe it, my short notes are that I actually think I would love this game if I wasn't live streaming it. I think I'm enjoying this game despite live streaming it, but I think I would actually love it. Like really, really, really love it because something that I forget is that playing a game with other people and on a live stream does have a little bit of a different way of how you enjoy a game because you are constantly thinking about the people watching, wanting to make sure that they're entertained, and so on and so forth. Whereas now that I have kind of found my rhythm in the game, I'm enjoying it a lot more. I'm happy to continue at live streaming, don't get me wrong. But on top of that, I think that if I had gotten to this point where I've found my rhythm, I would be playing it a lot more how I would play some of my previous games in terms of a completionist element. I love finding all the tiny little collectibles. Far Cry 3 is an
I'm doing
example.
my
I got
part.
all of the collectibles on that game way back when. And yeah, I've always been a bit of a completionist. And a game like Red Dead has so much to offer
I'm
where
doing
you
my
can just
part.
slowly uncover everything and find it all. And on top of that, I feel like it is an indication of a very rich and full world. And that is where its strength is this incredibly built up and realistic to an extent world. And that is, yeah, it is a slow burn, but I think that that is where I have now come out on the other end of the frustrations of the controls and kind of wondering where the story was going. I can see that they have built an entire world, and not just with the characters we've seen, but also just the environments, and that's what makes it really beautiful. And so, therefore, if you are playing this in the comfort of your spare time rather than online like I am doing, then I can see you just really taking the time to uncover every little tiny rock and seeing what's underneath. I think that that is what is its strength and beauty of the game. And in that sense, you are getting really, really immersed in the environment. And even if it does take tens of hours, if not over 100 hours, then you can replay it again to see how the payoff from here turns up over there, and that's really cool. And and so I can see why that would make it a lot of people's favorite game, or consider or highly regard it. And then on top of that, I feel as if the how you say, the horse riding in between and that slow, and I kind of spoke about this yesterday on stream, is riding from one destination to the next can get quite tedious. But I think that when you are I think that for me, I'm like, like this is getting tedious for the people watching rather than tedious for me specifically. Um, because if I didn't have people watching, then I wouldn't feel like I have to fill the dead air. I would just simply enjoy my horse ride. And maybe there's a guy who needs help over here, or a lady screaming over there, or just simply hunting or catching a horse. And that's where that uncovering of the environment is. And it can feel a little bit more like you can have those chill times amidst the high intensity, and that is where the balance comes in. I do think that it would be nice to be able to get from point A to point B a little bit faster. but I don't hate the idea of not having fast travel. So yeah, hog tie a woman, exactly. Do what you gotta do. And yeah, enjoying the journey, not the destination. That classic. And so I'm trying. I think that the last few gaming sessions, especially if you've been watching from the start, you've probably heard a lot of um my rhetoric change over time, and that's why I wanted to stick it out. And yeah, I'm understanding it more, and I do think that playing it live has influenced a little bit of my enjoyment of it, and that's why I've kind of taken that time to go, well, you know what, I think that this is much more a game for me if I weren't playing it live. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop playing it live, don't get me wrong, but I think it's more this recognition of it's okay to have those moments in between. And anyone who's played this game already knows that it is a slow burn and quiet one. There's a version of fast travel available if you want to skip from town to town, but the random encounters are part of the fun. Exactly right. And that's what I mean about the immersion of the world as well. And sometimes you find nothing and sometimes you find something. It's great. Okay, so let me catch up with these other things as well about pasties. Pasties were the... Wait, actually, before we go back to that... I wish I played Red Dead... Wait, Kingdom Come Deliver, sorry, for the first time while being a streamer. It's such a chaotic game that it'd be fun to share. I think that's why a lot of people watch some of those games, hey. And Red Dead can be even an example of that, is seeing it through the lens of a first-timer is very endearing. I feel the same when people play Detroit Become Human. I really, really enjoy that game itself. And so seeing how other people choose their paths, I completely understand the appeal of watching a first timer play it and trying to vicariously re-experience that for yourself. But I never played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but I saw some really, really funny clips that came up from it from other streamers. You can choose the cigarettes cards by buying like $120 worth of cigarettes and speedrunning lung cancer. Hilarious. I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima, and it's been kind of hard to learn, but I'm getting a hang of it, and it's enjoyable. I feel like I would enjoy Ghost of Tsushima myself. Sorry, I got a really itchy left eye. Anyhow. I'm well, zombie guy. I hope you're well as well. Crimson Desert is also like that, except even bigger. Is like, how are people finding Crimson Desert? Because the things I've heard of Crimson Desert is that they patched it ridiculously quick after some of the issues that people were encountering. But I haven't really heard anyone talk about it since its launch, you know? It gives you time to vibe with chat. Okay, cool, Kiwi man. Thank you. That's actually a really good little review as well. Scaring the horse and getting a guy killed because of it. Oopsies. Fallout is pretty good for encounters and gives you the fast travel as well. So there definitely can be a balance, because I know that, for example, when I've played Skyrim, that has fast travel, but I've still felt like I've enjoyed some of the random encounters along the way as well. And I'm trying to figure out how you can get that balance, because it clearly is possible. Okay, but let me look at some of these pasties ones before we fully move on, because it's a little bit of a quiet afternoon by the sounds of it. It seems like it's just going to be a nice cozy one. Pasties were the ultimate portable lunch for tin and copper miners, originating in Cornwall, of course, Cornish pasties. They were ingeniously designed as a complete meal wrapped in sturdy crimped pastry. Miners could easily carry them, eat them without cutlery, and warm them on a shovel. That's so cute. Oh my goodness. And Shvik said they had a spirited conversation a few days ago about good pies. Apparently some places serve a pasty in a bowl of gravy. Yeah, why don't just have a pie? Like, if a pasty is too dry, I feel like you're eating the wrong meal for sure. I guess if you do have it at home, then why not have it with gravy, maybe? Anyhow, 2-course meal. Some pasties were cleverly split down the middle with a savory filling like beef, potato, sweet, and onion on one end, and a sweet filling like jam or apples on the other. That's so cute. I feel like I want to make that, you know. Also, Yannick, I did see you talk about Oh, as embarrassed when my 85-year-old mum corrected me on the pronunciation recently. I didn't want to ever discuss that with her. Yeah, pasty versus pasties. That's why we talk about it, because I can never say it right myself. Sorry for the copy, pasty. Ha ha ha. Sorry, pasty, but this is cute. Tradition holds that miners never wasted the discarded crusts, leaving them behind to appease the knockers or ghosts believed to inhabit the mines. Aw, sharing with their fallen brethren, perhaps. Glad you have multiple perspectives of enjoyment in Red Dead Redemption 2. And that's the thing is, I said from the very beginning, I could tell it was a slow burn, and that I should stick it out to really have an opinion. But I think that it was just setting those expectations. So if I were to ever recommend it to someone, I would say, look, it is a slow burn. And somehow I've just never had anyone tell me that myself. Because I think people often will talk so highly about the positives of a whatever it is they love, and in this case it's this game, that they kind of forget about the negatives, because, and that's okay, the positives outweigh it, and it can be a wonderful, beautiful thing without and that be the overall feeling around it. But I do think that some expectations would have been nice, and but the other thing I know is the only reason I'm sticking it out is because of word of mouth, and that high regard that people have held the game with. Whereas I think that if I had tried this game not knowing anything about it, I especially on Steam, I would have potentially refunded it. I remember I had the same situation with LA Noire. Now, LA Noire is one that I would really, really like to return to out of curiosity. But when I originally played it, I refunded it because I was like, I just cannot. I cannot. And I think I would have done the same for Red Dead. And maybe that means that I'm just not really accustomed to Rockstar style of games. I do have some criticisms of the gameplay and engine, I guess. But I'm happy to hold off those until I've played other Rockstar games before I can truly confirm my suspicions. Hi, Lounge. Good morning, Lounge. Last game I played was Mafia Old Country. I might have to make a comeback for GTA 6. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll play GTA 6 rather than trying any of the older ones. Although that being said, I think I have been missing playing retro games. That's all. That's the end of the thought. We somehow have multiple pasties available here in Minneapolis. I wonder why. And you call them pasties? That feels like a far way to travel, especially because USA is not really known for their like portable meat pies. And so I wouldn't have thought pasties would be in there as well. You know what I mean? Okay, I didn't even know what Crimson Desert looks like. I literally only know by the name and nothing else. I know it by the name and the spaghetti waterfalls. If you know, then you know. Making you hungry? Yeah, I'm okay to do the food talk because I've just scoffed down my pasty. So it is pasty. There we go. I always doubt myself whenever I say it. So I am okay to talk food when I don't feel like I am hungry, but I can understand it would be affecting others. Once I talk about Red Dead Redemption 2, ask them. I bet they all have 200 hours in the game without even thinking about it. Exactly right. And that's what I was saying, is that recognition that I think that if I were to have played this myself, like stick it out to the point where I am, and then I'll probably end up being one of those who also spend 200 hours. Like I already want to go back and play it from the beginning and all that jazz. So I completely understand the appeal nice and early. Okay, so I just wanted to do something because I'm noticing that my YouTube messages are not coming through here. I thought it was a bit quiet, but I can see that there are people's messages that aren't appearing on my chat. So I don't know what's happened there. So I'm not sure what's happened. So I'm just having technical difficulties is my point. Because I can only see Twitch. Also, hi Zarek, how you going? I can only see Twitch and like the occasional one coming through. It is weird. See, zombie guy, as an example, I can see your message, but see how it's not here? This is what I am referencing. And because I was like, I don't want to feel like I have an inflated ego, but I was like, it's a pretty quiet chat today. Yes, exactly, Nate. The vertical stream, the vertical comments aren't coming through. It is on slow mode. You're absolutely correct, GB. But slow mode shouldn't affect it coming through here. Yes, so yes, that's the thing. I can see zombie. I hope you figure it out. Thank you. So I can see your messages. So I just want to say a little apology for the people who have popped in on the vertical. I actually have a suspicion. Hiya, hello. I actually have a suspicion of why that's happened. But I don't know if I can fix it today. Thank you so much. I do have a suspicion because basically I did something different today than I normally do in terms of how I set up my live streams. So you can see which one Boo Boo is working and which isn't. I need to attach the ghost tube exactly. Yeah, see, you guys got it. You're figuring it out. So I am sorry to the vertical. I like I said, I have a high suspicion of what has happened. But I will have to do this. Yes, so I always have 2 lives simultaneously on YouTube. That is nothing new. But how I went live today is new, and I can see that it has messed up the communication with my chat bot essentially. So whoopsie daisies, but I will leave this open so I can at least read the messages. It just means that they won't necessarily turn up on my multi-chat today, at least. For tomorrow, I will fix that. Filthy clankers indeed. It is good to know. And basically, we did that as a test, and we can see that the test is broken. One of the issues with YouTube Live in particular, and the lip sync should not be off. That's just how I talk. I don't think that it is an audio issue. But thank you for checking. I did watch something back of mine, and I was like, do I delay my own talk? Is there something where my voice occurs before my lip movement? I don't know. Anyhow. Hi Jordan, how you going? The subtitles don't line up, exactly right. But I can see the vertical live. So if you guys do chat, I can see it. It just won't appear here. And in fact, we might be able to do a few things as well. In that case, since it is, we'll turn that down to a little bit lower because we don't have to monitor it as easily. Yeah, it only has one issue exactly. One of the issues with the YouTube live is that I cannot test my my robot and the YouTube live while not live. Whereas on Twitch, I can kind of run tests even if my Twitch stream isn't live. But the YouTube, I can't do that. So I basically only know if there are going to be issues once I'm live. Thanks, Jordan. I don't have a panini maker, but I wouldn't even use it even if I did. I am pretty simple with my when it comes to my whatchamacallit, food making, I suppose. I've been hooked on Resident Evil games. No way. Have you been going back to some of the early ones, or you've just kind of jumped into the newer ones? I'm well, Jordan. I'm glad to hear you are as well. I've just been taking it easy, just kind of looking after myself, you know. I had if you guys are in the Discord, yeah, I had a bit of a rough night last night, and that just comes and goes in waves, but all I needed to do was just have the morning off, and now I'm fine, and I'm looking forward to some playing some games. In fact, we might even jump into the game super early if we're having a pretty quiet live stream anyhow, with in terms of the chatting. Then we may as well kind of just jump straight into games, because that way we won't get distracted too much by a tangent. Good morning, Nine Fox. I tried the thing that was suggested in terms of going live with the vertical, and it has broke, and now messages do not come through to the multi-chat bot. Morning, sleepyhead indeed. Can you stream privately? Oh, that's a good point. I actually think I can. I can stream if it is unlisted. And then people with a link. That's a really good point, Boba. Maybe if I need to do some tests in the future, that I can do a stream with an unlisted, but it unlisted. That's, yeah. Yes, that because I've accidentally done that before. I have accidentally done that before, so yes, it is possible. I did a RE4 first game, did RE7 and 8, now RE2! That is a bit of a random order, but as long as you're enjoying yourself. Of course, Goku, thank you for swinging by. I'll start getting into the game soon. Anyhow, I think you have a wonderful day yourself. Excited for Backrooms. I actually don't really know anything about the movie. So we talked a lot about movies yesterday, so I'm kind of movied out. But I will, however, be willing to check out the Backrooms trailer. Ending my Star Wars marathon tomorrow. That sounds exciting. Have you been enjoying them? Because I'm assuming that you've watched them before, right? What do you mean by horse girl? Have you not heard the term before, is my first question. Because if you have not heard the term before, I can understand why it would be somewhat problematic. But no, it is a very, very simple term. To be or not to be, that is equestrian. That is ridiculous. I love it. Yes, it is. I had not thought about the sus connotations because I thought about it only innocently. Yeah, it's a specific archetype. Exactly. Also, good to have you back, Chan. I hope you've been well. Twitch gives you sandbox, YouTube gives you trustful. That's a funny way of looking at it. But I didn't think about any particular connotations, but nonetheless. Hi, Blake. How you going? Hi, Ray. It's Luke that... which one's that? Sorry, Nine Fox? Oh, it's like that Umu Masumi game. That makes more sense. I thought you were trying to talk about some guy called Luke. I don't know what Oh, right, no, Umu Masumi must be the developer behind the Backrooms, right? So yes, my understanding is it's based on the Backrooms game, which I only played 1 hour of. I still have it on Steam, but I did it as a collaboration years and years and years ago. And it was one of those situations where you cannot script it because basically, this is Betty Rose, for those who remember. You cannot script it because she got in the back rooms and it completely crashed her computer. And I was like, there's no way that I can ever top this game after playing it where my my colleague essentially, his entire computer got just snuffed out. It felt like the most appropriate way to experience a horror game, and I was like, there's no way I can top this, so I never went back. And and because of that is why I haven't played. So I do assume that it is the movie is based off the game, however. Oh my goodness gracious me! Let me hear it.
Conspiracy theory: Homegirl is a MAYrathon's sister. They both have ginger hair. Both are American and both are horse girls.
You do have a very interesting point, but if you're talking about me, I'm not American. Not that American necessarily has to define if you are siblings, I suppose. But if you're talking about someone else called Homegirl, then I cannot confirm. But thank you so much for the biddies. Okay, also, what's up? Hi, Jared. We're just talking a little bit about Red Dead Redemption because we're going to play it soon. Is there new meta for... let me double check. Umamusume is... Oh, it's that horse girl literal game. Okay, I don't know this one. Good afternoon, by the way. Oh, Cower. How was that? Let me know. If it was terrible, then that's probably the assumption. Okay, Umusume. Let me look this one up. That's what an American would say. We're trying to separate ourselves. Oh, yes, I did see this on my YouTubes at some point. Hi, Maverick. How you going? Exactly. It's this Uumusume. And so it's literal horse girls. I remember seeing this. And so they're basically like kind of like cat girls, but they're horse girls, and then you have to feed them and train them so that they win the races. I remember now. It's all coming back. I've never played this myself. I just saw it on YouTube. Stans played it. I bet he did. My goodness gracious. Hi, Joe. Yeah, I started a little bit later today. I wanted the morning off. But I'm here. It's a full-on sweaty game. I believe it. Did you water the plants? Yes, the plants are actually watered indeed, but they are not up here. Ah, thank you, studio. Welcome. That's what happens if you take ivermectin. I don't actually know what ivermectin does to a person other than create this game. No, Maverick, that is not something that I do on request, but thank you for asking. So that is the Umamusume game, rather than the Red Dead Redemption game that we are referencing. Okie dokie. I actually don't know what this one is. You're welcome to share if you know, if you want. Are you from Australia? Not quite. I am from New Zealand. But I did live in Australia for 10 years, but no longer. I have left Australia, but I can understand the confusion. She has a very typical Puerto Rican accent who are American, by the way. So this is for Amaranth? How's your boy? Literally right here. I kid you not. Arm's length away. They're still growing. Since potting, the leaves have been a little bit more sad. Not as strong, so I'm not 100% sure. But it's also been really bad weather, so that doesn't help. So I'm just basically, I moved them out of the sun because I thought maybe they were getting too much sun. And I'm just waiting to see if they grow out for there. You're prettier than a frog eating candy. Thank you, Rick. That's really kind. I appreciate that. Your dream is to be from New Zealand, but is born in India. Well, you can't change your spawn RNG. You can always go to New Zealand. I know there are plenty of immigrants from India in New Zealand, so you know you can still be a New Zealander one day. Miniature update. So I have left her at my D&D place now because I always forget to bring her otherwise. But you can always check out. I did a short form, like a vertical video. So if you go on my shorts, Joe, the miniature should be in the thumbnail if you want to check it out. Just a little bit different. It's the lack of hat. Hold on. How about now, Mark? Does that look more like what you're familiar with? You know, do you own a sheep? Not anymore. I've never owned a sheep. I know there's a misconception of us New Zealanders having a bunch of sheep, but I was not lucky enough. Hi, Night Warrior. All the horse girls are based on actual famous Japanese horses. That's so cool, actually. That's attention to detail for sure. It's about training and building a team of champions to beat everyone else in races. Quite basic game concept, but you get really invested. I kind of love it. That's amazing. Give me a sec. Yeah. Take your time. I normally hate the UK weather. I despise the rain. I prefer the chill breeze or snow. Yeah, it's been a bit of a sporadic. I feel really bad because my housemate has a plant that when they were away has potentially passed away itself, and I'm supposed to be on top of plants, and I didn't know because it was sitting in a room that is not mine. So I did water it. I promise I watered it, and then it just got so hot that it's just dried out too quickly, and I was really, really upset. Not that they hold it against me, but I hold it against me. You know what I mean? Of course, go enjoy Zirak. Thank you so much for swinging by. Cheers, Boba. I'm actually a little bit behind on my edits, so I think I've spoken about this before. Not, it'll be a quick little convo, but I have a posting schedule where it's just kind of how I stay on top of like what I'm posting, and I just post the same thing on all the platforms. I don't think about it too much. But I can see that I had edited like 10 things, and then because that has allowed me to be so far ahead of schedule, that's why I started editing the video game ones in between, which have been really cool. And then I stopped editing. So basically this week I have to go out of my way and get back on top of things. The thing that I find is the most labor intensive part of the editing. I actually do okay turnaround. Oh my gosh, what have I done? I've dunked myself in my cup of tea somehow. I am not a biscuit. I do not go into the cup of tea. Oopsies. Anyhow, but the thing I find the most difficult with the shorts is actually the verticals is actually finding clips to edit. And so you guys clipping the Red Dead Redemption stuff has been such a life send, because I basically just grab it, I edit it the day of, and then I schedule it, and it's done and dusted. So my editing actually doesn't take me a long time. It's finding something to edit that gets very labor intensive. And so my last 2 weeks of streaming, I basically haven't edited anything because I have to go and find something, and it gets tough to do so. Anyhow, can't imagine how many you had to go through just for Red Dead clips. Well, I find that I just kind of choose one. Cheers, Skeletor. Yes, I saw that you responded. I just haven't seen what the response was, by the way. What did the food critics call the cactus pie? A succulent meal. Oh, thank you, Kawa. I appreciate that. That is a very kind compliment. Anyhow, thank you, Joe. Thank you. The metallic accents. I wasn't sure about them because it was such a bright color, but my crew were supportive of it. I don't actually know what paints I used though, because it was literally paints that were provided by my D&D group. But I can ask if that's something that you genuinely want to know. Hi, Ian. So we can throw you in a canoe or a kayak. Please don't. I don't know what happened with the with my tea here. Anywho. I'm killing plants as well as horses. No, I'm not trying to, at least. I'm not trying to. Okay, so just back on the verticals. I won't harp on about it because I know it's not necessarily something that everyone wants to know. But, for those who care, then I will share. But I find that at the end of like a live stream, so today, for example, that I am like, okay, well, what can I clip from today's stream? And sometimes it's just not a very clippable stream. So I've been trying to figure out how to reduce my workload in that regard, because so that I'm not spending an hour scrubbing through a whole VOD, you know what I mean? So, point being, did you guys know that in Twitch we have a command clip? So basically, if I say something funny, please do command clip. Please. It really, really helps me. Oh my gosh, no, don't clip it now! That's so embarrassing! Watch me edit this now. What? No! Stop it! Don't! You guys are being bullies! You're bullying me! Anyhow, so I don't... Thank you, Schmick. See, at least Schmick is more honest with this. Have you fallen off your horse yet? Yes, yep. I have fallen off my horse, and my horse has fallen off a cliff. But we did just get a new horse, and so I'm very excited to jump back into the game and find a new boy. In terms of what kind of tea do I like, I usually drink just black tea, and the one I have at the moment is Yorkshire tea, because, well, when in England, right? And I've got the Yorkshire Gold, but I'm almost run out, so I am actually going to try the Yorkshire Red before I confirm that Yorkshire Gold is my go-to, but this is actually just rooibos tea, so it's a very simple one today. No, Travis, I don't know. No, I'm not human. I'm not familiar with that one. I've never even heard of that one. Sorry. Don't know that one. Painted with the blood of your Minotaur's enemy is quite. I'm looking forward to going back to D&D. We missed last week because of a variety of things, but I'm back tomorrow. And then the clips from yesterday of Red Dead. I don't think I will do the entire montage. That I will save all of the clips, and maybe I can do a montage like after May, when I'm not streaming every single day. I think that that will mean that I can do some more fun projects like montages. So I think it'll probably not be montage clip, because it just is a little bit too much work for me at the moment when I'm already procrastinating so much. But basically, my goal has been to make one clip per stream. And so if the stream like today isn't particularly funny, that I just make something else anyway. So I think my most recent one was a good example. I was just talking about my hair, and I wasn't trying to be funny. It was just me talking randomly. And I think my edit actually did it some credit, kind of. Anyway, that's just me patting myself on the back a little bit. But my point is that I've been trying to get better at being a bit more forgiving, in the sense that it's okay if not every single video goes viral or hits thousands of views or anything, because it just means that I'm more so taking a not even an objective look, just being like, yep, that'll do. That'll do from this stream. And so that's kind of where I'm behind on my workload at the moment. I need to go back and watch some of my live streams, is my point, because I've been mucking around a little bit. Oh gosh, yeah. I really need to go back and watch some streams by the looks of it as I look at my posting schedule. Anyway, it's been good. I've been really happy to give it a crack, at least. No, I'm Not Human is such a good game about doppelganger. Oh, is that the one? It's like Papers, Please? I think that it is based on the concept of Papers, Please. That is my impression. And you have to decide whether or not someone's allowed in. Who's billing who? You're literally trying to get us to do your homework for you. You do have a point, but I'm the teacher here, Skeletor. You guys are the class. You're meant to be the ones with the homework, okay? I just mark it afterwards, all right? Fantastic career ahead, flood the algorithm with every AI question. Marriage request clip 2026. But that's the thing, is I don't want to go into montage stuff. That just takes too much time. New horse's name was Raisins, but we can change that. But I like Raisins. It just felt right in the moment. What kind of coffee grain is your go-to so far over here? A nice gold roast. I actually, so I don't buy coffee to drink at home. I don't drink coffee whatsoever at home. I only go to a cafe, for my coffee, because I find that I enjoy it when I'm sitting down, and sometimes I do some work at the cafe. That's actually sometimes when I go back and watch my streams, admittedly, or if I just need a relaxation. So I get whatever the coffee roasted at the roasteries is. No, I'm Not Human has good reviews. Yeah, I've heard great things about it. Yeah, Travis is confirming that it is the one I'm thinking of. And I know some Aussie. This is really annoying me. It's probably not as obvious to you, but it's the coloring. The dampness of my sleeve isn't what's frustrating me. It's the coloring. But I don't think, because my lighting is so bad today, with the sun is all gloomy, it's not super obvious. But every time it comes, I'm like, what an idiot. What a nupty. Anyhow, I've seen some other Australian streamers actually who have played No, I'm Not Human, and it was very, very funny. Easy, Mama. Good to see you.
I'm doing my part.
Not pragmatic. Hi, Binder. How you going? Chasing the viral clips leave the genuine spontaneity in the dust. And I think that it's kind of nice to break up some of the humorous ones in a way. So for example, I have a clip that I'm going to edit, which is us talking about the cute couple that I photographed, and I was like, this is so wholesome. And I was looking at other clips from that stream, and I had quote unquote funnier moments, but I was like, I cannot look past the cute couple. I just have to edit it. And so that's an example of one that will be posted in a few weeks or a few days or whatever. That I feel like breaking up some of those moments is more of a better reflection of my live streams anyway, whereas sometimes it will be more chaotic, other times it will be more introspective, and there's a little bit of everything. I don't want to give the false impression that I'm super funny all the time, because, you know, my mother already reminded me that that's not the case. Okay, very papers, please. Yes, so I probably won't play I'm Not Human. No, I'm Not Human, because I have Papers, Please on Steam already, and I'd much rather play that one as well. Bindu, I already said hi. Like, what more do you want from me? You said, hi, I am from India. And I said, hi, Bindu. And then you said, hi, I am from India. And then you said, why are you not answering mine? So you tell me why, like, you explain to me the scenario from your perspective after that. I don't have a tongue piercing, no. If you want me to poke my tongue out, then you've failed your mission. Okay, so it's body snatches is what it is. Somewhat similar. Yeah, but I'd be more inclined to play Papers, Please than No, I'm Not Human. Oh wait, this isn't even, oh wow, this is not even the one I was thinking of. This is actually a different one again. So it looks very similar. Okay, my bad. Sorry, I'll show you what I am seeing. This is not what I was thinking of. The one I was thinking of maybe is called like Neighbor, not Hello Neighbor. This is not the one I was thinking of. It's creepy as hell though. Ew, I hate it. This feels like something from Attack on Titan. Yeah, I was thinking of something about, I think it has neighbors in the title. Very different. One key thing about being an editor for 5 years, don't be autistic about your statistics. Yes, exactly. And that's the thing is what I love is because I've not had anything go viral yet. And even at a small scale, you can see that there's so much involved in terms of what pops off and what doesn't. And there are so many factors at play that you have no control over. I just find it fascinating to learn about the behind the scenes. So, for example, my video that has the word chlamydia in it on YouTube was not pushed whatsoever by YouTube, but it's done the same, like it's done fine on other platforms, or rather, it has the same kind of amount of views I normally get. And then what was the other one that? Oh yeah, sorry, I did one that was about the size of the fact that elephants have testicondi. And YouTube didn't like that video either. And so if you take that out of the way, I know YouTube doesn't like pushing chlamydia. Isn't that crazy? So basically, guys, what I need from you is to go watch my elephant tentacles clip and my chlamydia central clip and prove YouTube wrong. Anyway, I agree. You've got it, Sunbeam. We're playing some Red Dead Redemption 2. Hi, way too crazy. How you going? I wasn't in neither Home and Away nor Neighbors, but I can't remember the game I was talking about. Kind of finished stream while mine was frozen, and when I refreshed, it told me to come here. Oh my gosh, there we go. Yeah, you don't always have the time in a short form video to explain the jokes, and then they're just not funny. Get banned every day. Well, that's a shame. Hopefully you can change that around. He emailed me. So why are you not saying hi to the man from India? He emailed me to ask why he's quick on the draw there. Since we're the class, can we get a sort of class clown thing to put annoying chatters on blast? So I know exactly what I want to do with that kind of thing, but the thing is, if I really want to practice what I preach, I have to not make my content putting idiots on blast, because I feel like it can breed that kind of toxicity. So, for example, if you're constantly, and yes, I like to play with my food, don't get me wrong. I'm well aware. You are all well aware of this. But there are content creators that I really, really like in a lot of regards. However, the thing that I actually disagree with them on is when, and I mean this as streamers or Instagrammers, TikTok, like all of these things, where they bring the like comments, the hate comments, and they're like, look at this hater, and let me put this person on blast. It's like a public lynching, I guess. And I think for so many reasons, it is highly, highly necessary to do the public lynching. Don't get me wrong. And it's so great. But I know that that breeds the same type of content where if you're now like, hey, let's laugh at this guy, and then you say put that as a vertical content, and then people are gonna just go, well, look at you, and it just keeps on follow. It's a cycle, right? It's a never-ending cycle where they. I want to be careful about not falling into that, I guess. Hi, Princess. So my point is that in terms of the class clown, yes, I'd be willing to do a class clown thing, but I don't think I would put it on annoying chatters. I think it would be just like the doy, we messed up today, and have like the clown music or whatever. But there is a part of me that would love. Oh, thank you, Bill Reed. But I don't think I'm the only one. It's just not. There are plenty of people out there that are humble and great role models. They just don't get the virality. is all. because they don't get into drama. You know, if people are behaving well, they don't get into drama farming, and so therefore they don't get notoriety, and therefore they don't get millions of views, and we don't know about them. So there are plenty of people out there who are living a very clean content creation life. So yeah, copycats, that's the one. The cycle. It's the troll that never ends. It goes on and on, my friend. And so fight forward, not back. We don't need any encouragement, exactly. And we just need to contact Big Chlamydia, then they'll spread a lot more, hey? Okay. Chlamydia, onto referencing your tentacles clips as wild work. What can I say? Okay. But I think we are also in an ad break on Twitch. Okay, we're about to hit an ad. We've in 5 seconds or something. But I'll move on to games after the ads have ended. Just a heads up, everyone. And in terms of the copycats and whatnot, so here, yes, this is sub-only content, both on YouTube and on Twitch. The sub-only content. I would love for when someone says something horrific, and so I don't mean just like why aren't you noticing me or anything. Oh, actually, there's a part of that where I would want it. Hi, by the way, what topic is going on today? We're about to play some Red Dead, but but first, I want to tell you what I want to see, how I want to see people put on blast. So basically, let's say they say something like, "Is it pink?" Ever since I started multi-streaming on YouTube, I get so many "Is it pinks?" We managed to put it in the banned category so we don't see it anymore. But when I first started, that was so prominent, and people were trying to find workarounds as well. It was a whole thing. But what I want to happen is to have my chat bot essentially constantly reading messages, and if anyone says, "Is it pink?" or similar, it just like stops everything. This chat disappears, and all it has is their message, their username, their profile picture, massive full screen now, and we get to have like a spotlight where I want the spotlight to just shine on them, and then we just get to see them and their messages and give them like a full focus, give them their 5 seconds of like, okay, you just decided that this is what you wanted to say. You, with your free will, chose to write something gross. Let's discuss. Let's talk about it. Let's bring you attention to you. If you want to comment on my genitalia, like let's just talk about you. And it would bring me a lot of joy. But it would also become the only thing that my live stream is. And these are the sacrifices that we are unfortunately not willing to make. Put them on a 10-minute timer. So just it can be anything, you know. And that's the thing is, I don't think it would be hard to code. Because my robot can already, my Clementalia, that's how we get around the closed captions for verticals. Is it ink? I'm so sad that your message isn't on the multi-stream. As clever. The mods, they realized that they were quick on the draw with that one, but that was clever. I'd love to comment. You're welcome to. Anyhow, so yeah, I think that we don't have a 10-minute timeout. I think that we let them continue whatever else they want to say. So it's basically just giving the spotlight to them. And I know some people do it where they've said really gross things up. Usually it's on female content creators posts, like they'll post on them and they'll make comments about their body, inappropriate comments about their body. And so then the content creator will go and show their kind of who they are. So, for example, where they'll say, well, you go to this church group. What do you think they would say about your comments? Oh, you have a 6-year-old daughter and you want to say these comments. And it is interesting. And it's like, I kind of love the vigilante justice in that regard. But I just know that it is not the type of content that I would want to encourage and divulge in, because I know that it will just result in that becoming the only thing that the content is. You know what I mean? Hello. Hi, Godwani. They modded themselves. I would have left it. That's so cute. Oh, I didn't realize that Lucent modded that yourself. Lucent, let it be known that your humor was appreciated here. That is correct, Rich. You have told me before, so you don't have to worry about me forgetting. We should also get to vote on how long they get timed out. Yes, and so that's the thing. When people do like unbanning streams, I completely understand it. I think it is really funny and interesting, and I love watching that kind of content, but I don't think I want to make that kind of content. Yeah, in the spotlight. What do you mean by that? And that's exactly how I would do it. Awesome. Is I would have the spotlight where it's like, and I'm using the like, is it pink? Because we know that that's inappropriate, but it's also not. What's the word? I'm not saying the really really gross things that people have said. And so if they said something like this, spotlight on them, profile picture, their chat box comes up where can I have a look? No, I don't know them. Sorry, Travis. I'm not familiar with that one. I will use I think maybe Kiwi Man. Sorry, I've clicked on your one. Hopefully you are consenting to this. Here we go. And so basically it would come up where it's, I'll see if I can make this a little bit more over there. Perfect. Where it bring up the like the viewer card, and then it has all of the messages there. And so that if you were now to say, if I were to say to you now, like, what did you mean by that? Your message would come up as soon as you type next, but then would have like your profile picture, half the screen as well. It would be so funny. Oh, I can see. Witness me. Oh, it's not coming up. I have to refresh maybe. Refresh. So that's a bit annoying that I'd have to refresh to get it. But anyway, you guys get the idea. I just think it would be very funny. Also, all of your moderated actions are clearly done by the mods being cheeky, because it's like timed out for 1 second, banned, and then unbanned within a few seconds. And so it is funny to see how these things work. Yeah, that guy was Sashay. What's your favorite content type? Ooh, I think that I do like a lot of commentary style things. So I guess in a way it is like React content, but I find that React content isn't quite what I am more interested in. It's more this commentary style things. So when people watch videos and then talk about that video, I guess it is technically React content, but I think that commentary is more indicative of what I watch. But like Moist Critical, I like Moist Critical, for example, where he just kind of is like, here's a thing, let me talk about it. That's kind of what I watch. You gotta find the line, sometimes step over it, then make sure you step back. Yeah, that's a good point, and just kind of learn from it, I suppose. I saw a lady show up to a dude IRL for comments on shorts. People gonna get hurt. Yeah, exactly. So that's why I don't want to spiral into it, you know? Because it can be a slippery slope. Why would you like me to be a dog, Blaze? What's that saying about you? What type of freaky stuff do people ask in your chat? Yeah, it is. It's not great. It's not great, but we're learning to deal with it. No, I haven't seen this one, Rich. But I've heard people speak about it. I don't watch F1 anymore. I used to watch it a little bit, but I haven't for a long time, admittedly. Yeah, more transformative than React content. But I know that that can be a really fine line to balance. And it's not one that I felt very confident in indulging in myself. But I think that I would like to do more of that for YouTube because that's kind of what I watch. And yeah, maybe the topical, well, Thursday this week, will lean into that a bit more. We're still learning what my YouTube presence is, I guess. Most of the time, it is catering to exactly what they want. I very much doubt they have a conscience about making comments on YouTube, but not just YouTube, like Instagram comments, TikTok as well. They're trying to be shock jocks, exactly. And I think for lives in particular, I remember being a kid as well. I remember just being like, poop. That was last week. But anyway, that's my point is that I understand sometimes you just want to say something naughty and get away with it. That Sean, you said the same thing. Exact same thought. Anyway, so I get it. You just want to have a little giggle. And then there are edgy teens who push that to the extreme. And I will offer grace that I do think a lot of these same edgy teens learn from it. I think social media probably doesn't help because there are a lot of things where you don't get consequences for your actions. And I think that we can all see that very obviously when we have like nuisance streamers or prank creators and they don't get held accountable. So their pranks or their antics is probably a good word to use, just goes more and more extreme because no one stepped in early. Whereas I, for example, remember being like a 6-year-old and my auntie, I remember exactly which room of her house it was. My auntie said, "You're not allowed to say bloody. That is a naughty word to use." But and so then I never was like, "Oh, bloody hell." Because I remember my auntie telling me off for it. And so these days, I think that there are, with the live streams, it's so easy to say something blasphemous and then quickly run away before you end up with any consequences. And what else are the consequences other than being timed out or banned from one platform and then you go and be a nuisance elsewhere? Some places, of course, will do like a platform ban, but it can only go so far. That's bloody shit, innit? Well, fuck me. Anyhow, so yeah, you use that kind of language, Jehovah fucking Christ. My dad also had a problem with bloody. Yeah, I don't know what it was in particular. It was just something about that word I remember. So my point is that I do think there are a lot of people who are just trying to have this shock value because they think that it's like funny. And then when you are not being held accountable, what is shocking but something more and more extreme? And that is all kind of like quote unquote understandable. It's not agreeable, but you can kind of, it's just an eye roll where it's like, well, sucks that they didn't have any great role models in their life disciplining them, I suppose. But there are a lot of people who are so comfortable saying really inappropriate things about, and in my case, about women. And a lot of those people are not edgy teens, where they're kind of the same people who would be like, oh, not all men. It's like, but here you are contributing to the problem. And that is where I don't have as much understanding, because I just can't relate to it, I suppose. And in that case, what is it that should be done to kind of right the injustice, I suppose? Is it bring attention to it? Is it, I think for me, I choose the let them fade to obscurity. Like, don't bring it up. Just ignore it altogether. The mods, that's kind of the mods' job as well, of just trying to move it on. Other times we'll engage, don't get me wrong. But not feeding into what they're trying to get. Yeah, but that's another thing, is when is it our job to fix others? And you just gotta let it go sometimes, hey? Anyhow, hi Lily, hi Pancake. We're gonna play some games soon. Hi Zul, welcome on back. It's kind of scary about some twat gonna try copy strike you. Exactly right. Isn't that ridiculous? I'm a Reacts connoisseur. I love watching people watch movie, TV shows. Yeah, exactly. I get why people like it. I think it's really nice to have that with other people as well. I'm in IT and tracked down someone that messaged unconsensual stuff to a female content creator. I can't believe that there are men out there who do that. I know, right? It's just gross. It's so disgusting. And we're going well, Lily. It's just been a very quiet one today, which is actually kind of exactly what I needed. Oh, we've got one. Hold on, everyone, chill. Can I do this? Hold on, mods. Let me play. Let me play. Okay. Okay. Yuji, it doesn't look like you make any content. We don't have anything here in particular. Joined only this year. But I just wanna ask you. Let's see if we can. What was that message again? How pink is it? So what do you mean by that, Yuji? Can you please explain to us, what do you mean by how pink is it? Because you clearly have a question. Let me answer that once you explain. We just want to make sure we're on the same page. just let me know. Let me know. We've hooked! Oh, we gotta move the control this way and move it this way. Oh, hold on. It's waiting. We're waiting. You know what I mean? Well, can you be more explicit, I suppose? Yeah, what are the options we have? What would you like to know? What would, why would you like to know this? That's what I really want to know. Because yes, you're correct. We all know what you mean. Why do you want to know? I will. Oh, it's the wall. You're asking about the wall? No, the wall is actually a brick color. We want to know. So Yuji, as we actually have someone on Twitch who wants a question for you. How big isn't it? Like, it just in probably like centimeters, because it's not gonna be inches. It's you might be able to have a couple centimeters if you're lucky. How big is it? How big is it? Let us know. It's YouTube. I can't be explicit, and yet you can ask, how pink is it? So are you trying to like flirt? Are you trying to be like, hey, look at me, I'm able to dance around the YouTube rules? So it's, that you can't be explicit, and yet you can also say, how pink is it? Like, what's the logic there? Let us know. How inverted is it? That's ridiculous. No, we will leave it there. That is more just for the people here. Yuji, we have put you on blast because of a conversation. Yeah, exactly. He is owning it, and you know what? I love that. That's why I'm respecting UG by saying, basically, I don't know if you were watching the stream earlier, but we have a lot of people who ask, "Is it pink?" And I said, if I had it my way, we would have the chat bot just like bring up the username, bring up the profile picture, spotlight on them, explain to us what's going on. let's talk about it. It's really small. That's okay. I will, you know what? I'm going to use this as a segue. So many people do so much of this, like it felt weird saying it. A lot of people do a lot of size shaming when it comes to dick sizes, and I think that that's something that I actually genuinely want to abolish. I just feel like there are so many sizes out there, and some of those, yeah, I want to abolish dicks, you heard it here. There's so many sizes out there, and I don't understand why being like, oh, like this is such a spineless person who probably has like a smaller than 2-inch dick. It's like, yeah, okay. So maybe they do. I feel like it is an antiquated view when we don't even swing dicks around anyway. Like maybe in the old days when no one wore clothes, I could understand it. Yeah, with insecurity, but I can tell you that it is not, you know, as they say, it's not the size. And sometimes there are sizes that are incredibly intimidating. You know how people talk about like, oh yeah, I got a 12-inch. Have you seen what 12 inches looks like? That is intimidating. That is scary. No one wants that, okay? No one wants that. Oh, my goodness. Anyhow, so thank you, UG, for playing. That was very kind, and I do appreciate, like, I genuinely do appreciate the ownership and the banter. That's all. Yeah, it would impale you, exactly. Make it, like, gross. Gross. Ask them what their ocean's motion is, that's the one. Yeah, it's how you use it. And, you know, and there are a lot of other ways to please a woman. Because let me put it this way. There are lesbians out there. Clearly, it doesn't matter about the size, because if lesbians can have fun, then so can men with tiny penises. You know? It's just true. It's just true. I was trying to find the wording, okay? What is a horse girl? Someone who likes horses. Exactly, Lily. It's just there. Yeah. It's like... Anyhow, 12 inches means it's a sentient entity. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Okay. Okay, dokie. The brick wall is orange. That's the one. Benny wants to know, can you squirt? Benny Eggs wants to know these things. That is a question that they thought was appropriate to say on this live stream. Anyhow, so my point is that if I now turn these things into like short form content or vertical content, and this is actually kind of the point, right, is that coming back to the coming back to the point of how this conversation started, is if I now turn that into a clip and then it goes viral and so many people are commenting on it, the spillover effect is that people are now going to comment on that video and will continue to be inappropriate, whether that they continue with the sexual comments or if they just start hating me for the sake of it, where it's like, oh well, you're being such a bitch by now bullying them in reverse, so on and so forth. It is fighting fire with fire. Yeah, name and shame approach. I don't you know, it's just I don't think it actually helps. I don't think it helps. Swinging days around, it's time for me to mention that Aussie greatness that is puppetry of the penis. Yes! Yes, I remember us talking about it in the past. Let me know when you jump into the gameplay. I've got an intro for Brian when you do. Oh, for Brian. Yes, I think we will do that soon. Thank you. Exactly. Nine Fox has just said, as we clearly just saw, it attracts more of the same. Within that short period of time, us bringing attention to Yuji then immediately caused a copycat reaction. In that short span of a time, let alone if I now clip that, post it elsewhere. It's crazy. Exactly, Pancake. It's better to ignore it rather than make it go viral. And so that's what I see a lot is, so to wrap it back to something I said earlier as well, I see content creators who will bring attention to this and then they will post it on their vertical content. That's also the word I've started using when I am talking about shorts, TikToks, reels, because rather than calling it TikToks, because it's not always exclusive on TikTok, you know. And so, no, you're not the only American. We've got plenty of Americans in the chat right now. And so bringing attention to that, I think also is not good for someone's mental health because one, it spawns copycats. And so then you just keep on falling into that. And then you just will get angrier and angrier, right? You are now watching this or seeing these things, and then instead of going, yes, we know how disgusting they are, instead of it being like this, gotcha, look at this vigilante justice, we got him, you are just going to become more and more miserable yourself because that is what is being focused on, and it does suck. Trust me, it sucks to get all of this grossness for, you know, just trying to be online and playing a video game. And I know that it's not exclusive to women, but we also know that the types of comments that women get are so vastly more inappropriate than men get. And so it does suck. But I know that for myself, we can have our little fun moments as a class, as a group. But the better thing is to just kind of... Anywho... Yes, this is true, Travis. So Travis says many OnlyFans models also make videos around such bait questions. This is a marketing strategy that I can get behind because they are doing that intentionally to aid their content. Someone like me, whose content is not about rage baiting, it's not going to help me. This is one of the reasons I tell jokes. So I'm not that, as if isn't a place for that, you want go there, that, and this ain't it. Yeah, so exactly. There are plenty of websites where you can go indulge in sexual content. Let's just be very upfront of it, and this ain't it. This ain't it. Lucian also says, what do you do if you have a small one? I think learn some tips and tricks with the fingies, perhaps. That's all I will say on that. Because there's plenty that you can do without it needing to be with the hips, you know? There's, just some tips. Also, welcome back, Lucent. You're funny with your is it ink, though, so... it's free to access. Yeah, exactly. So sorry, Schmick said Clem is under zero obligation to pander to the uninvited depravity. And I admit sometimes I'm only human. Sometimes I'll get sucked into it too. Sometimes someone baits me and I just cannot help myself. But I think comparatively to how much I ignore, I do a pretty good job. I do all right. Debating buying a car. I saw, Lily, that you also said you're in Japan. So buying a car in Japan, you mean? Okay, just catching up here. In terms of size, knives are greater than 3 inches are illegal. Draw your own conclusions. Just as men are different lengths, women can be different depths. Yeah, exactly. And so it's just learning about your partner, I think, is a good way of putting it. How brown are your undies? I don't want to tell you that. That's why, wear black ones, okay? So it's not so obvious. Wait, what? In Japan. That's awesome. So you must be there for a while then, Lily, is that right? I get laughed at. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, let me put it this way. I hope that you don't get the impression that you are being laughed at here. I think you are funny. But I understand that having someone laugh at your jokes versus being laughed at are two different things. But at least in this regard, you are saying things that we find funny. You know? The euphemism treadmill. I don't know what the euphemism treadmill is. I know what the hedonism treadmill is, but not the euphemism. How long? I guess for as long as you want. Hey, Lily. For how long you're backpacking? Stream harder. Okay, I'll try. I'll certainly try. Yeah, the energy you waste on it, exactly. Honestly, there's one, I'm not going to name names, but there's one person in particular that I really like as a content creator, but I can see that they are falling into this habit of doing the like gotchas. So when I see their verticals and it's all about these like, oh, look at what these people are saying instead of what their content is, which is, being funny and being cool and kind and playing games and stuff. That's not shining through if they're just constantly making gotcha clips is what I guess I would call them. As a pool's ponytail on a playground and a tantrum in the middle of a supermarket, they feel invisible and want attention by any means. Also true. Also very, very true. Degradation can feel like dopamine to someone lacking dopamine in their life. Oof, that's rough. Yeah, we're just classy broads around here. Even gay guys get hate, but not the lewd grossness that femmes get. That's also true. Even if you see the term of like, so many people still use like dick sucker as an insult, and I feel like that probably has roots. Sorry. I feel like that probably has a link in homophobia, right? Or with butts, do you mean, C Mama? Anyway, I feel like there are some insults that are still used that probably have a connotation that's come from homophobia. But at the same time, you can call a chick a dick sucker, and then it could be like, well, we're sorry that we're helping out, If anything, it's like, can we say like, can we like make clit liquor an insult or something? Yeah, exactly, Shark. It's just taking care of your partner. Can we call like, well, maybe we can claim it where it's like, they're definitely a clit liquor, but it's like a positive thing. Just keep who says dick sucker, maybe cock or cocksucker. Yeah. Anyway, I digress. I'm thinking about the logistics of getting a car home. I think that if you buy one in Japan, you probably would just have to sell it in Japan afterwards as well, which a lot of people do in Europe. They buy a car in Europe, backpack across Europe, and then they sell it on the other side. I don't know if that's something that would work for you, Lily. Going to Taiwan. I really want to travel around Taiwan, actually. It looks beautiful. Okie dokie. Also, I noticed that the, was it Russian? It doesn't matter what it was, but that message got deleted from here. And that is really good to know. It just shows that there's better Twitch integration than YouTube. A tongue puncher, yeah. The euphemism treadmill, where the euphemism becomes the rude terminology that new euphemisms are required, perhaps? Oh, that's what you were referring to rather than the dick sucker. Sorry, see, Mama. I see what you mean now. Let's look it up. But well, let's look that up before we do games, and then we'll call it. Oh, Schmick, I'm sorry to see this, by the way. I don't know about age restrictions. Cheers for the mod chat, by the way. Okay, so we're looking up euphemism treadmill. Window licker, that definitely implies someone who's a little bit low on the brain cells up there. The Transformers Jolt toy sounds like a fun type. I glow. Anyhow, ever since Hot Tour, someone who does that can't do any wrong. See, we got girls out here, helping us change the terminology again. Smartest thing to do, fly to a country with really cheap cars, end your travels in a country that sells really expensive cars, can make some nice profit, minimize your losses there. That is clever, Ron. I like it. If you've not seen this song on YouTube, have a look and treat yourself. Sounds like a plan. Okie dokie. It's a good one, says Toad. Okay, sweet. Well, I'll check that out offline because I don't want to have to worry about copyrights. The euphemism treadmill is a linguistic phenomenon described by linguist Steven Pinker. This is just AI, by the way. I'll actually show you guys because I know some of you guys will prefer to read. It describes the cycle in which polite expressions for sensitive topics are introduced, become tainted or offensive over time through common use, and must eventually be replaced by new, more respectful terms in a repeating loop. So, see, Mama, you absolutely nailed it. Do we have examples? Ooh, we do have examples. Okay. So, you imbecile was no longer allowed to be used, so they said, you moron, and then, oh my god, that one's making a comeback, so much so that even AI is using it flippantly. And then mentally challenged to neurodivergent, so on and so forth. I mean, it is AI, I wouldn't necessarily pull this in here, but I do understand where they're coming from. Yeah, toilets are a good one. I must use the privy. Oh, you can't say the privy. I must use the water closet. I must use the toilet, restroom, washroom, so on and so forth. Okay, all right. Today I learnt indeed. You can't use carpet muncher anymore these days, yes, because who has carpet these days, hey? I have not heard the new Drake album. I don't listen to Drake. Pillow biter was a homophobic insult. I guess so. But I guess theoretically should be just anyone who's taken from behind, as it were. Do you like Sabrina Carpenter? I mean, yeah, she's fine. I don't listen to her, but she's fine. Is your husband a letdown? Yeah. They really, really let me down by the fact that they never turned up to my wedding. It was actually really, really disappointing. Yeah. Nonetheless. Anyhow. I missed what one of these things are. Yeah, not agreeing with that one, Pancake. Okie dokie. I like the insult oxygen thief. That's a great one. I've heard of I think I even put it in the Discord where there are a lot of these insults that take a little moment. I heard the question earlier, just thought that but my house has yeah, you got it, Glow. You got it. Cool beans. Rod, I can't. No, there are plenty of people who are okay with this word. I am not one of them. But I see where you're coming from. But I cannot indulge in this one. So let me put it this way. The so thank you. We'll delete that one. I see where you're coming from, but it's not one that I'm trying to promote in this community. Let me put it that way. And I thought about this literally just yesterday because the song "Let's Get It Started" by the Black Eyed Peas was on at the supermarket, and I was like, the fact that they had recorded, even back then, 20 years ago? Even back 20 years ago, they recorded 2 versions of that song, and one of them is "Let's Get It Started." The other one is a different phrase. And if they already knew that a couple decades ago, then that is why I don't use it today. That's true, yes. And fire is another one, Boba. They were trying to make it nice. Yeah, they flubbed that for sure. You think literally to mean slow or something? I think that we know that it's never used in a sincere manner. So for example, the dumb is meant to be someone who is mute, right? So someone who, the word dumb was originally meant for people who were mute and didn't speak. But today, you would not call someone dumb and think that you're talking about them being mute, you know? Hi, Kai. Let's get ourselves cancelled now. Let's get it cancelled in here. Let's get it cancelled in her. Let's get it cancelled in here. You got a point. You got a point. I hear it. I hear it now. If I'm an imbecile, I can reclaim the R word as a term of endearment for my fellow morons. I think that it is one of those ones that a lot of people are speaking on behalf of the people that it doesn't apply to. So we're going to back out of it. We're going to back out of it because it is one that should be a discussion with those who are involved. No, I would not use the N-word in answer to that question. That is my point. That is exactly the point that I've been making. No, I would not use these words. But I will admit that I do understand what you guys mean about the reclaiming, because I even had a drag queen on my Instagram feed, and they were spouting some stuff that I really, really agreed with, and I think they made some great points. It was basically about, it was actually naming and shaming. Funnily enough, this is one of the content creators who were naming and shaming a comment, and actually it wasn't a comment, it was a person, but they were naming and shaming about this guy who was basically implying inappropriate behavior with children. It was disgusting. And so the drag queen was saying how there are so many people who are claiming that children would be unsafe with them and gay men and the LGBT community, when this guy himself, who is spouting a lot of transphobia and homophobia, clearly cannot be trusted with a young girl. And like, so the drag queen was just basically saying how it's like, you don't trust kids around me. I don't trust your own kids around you. And it was a well said piece, is my point. But in this same piece, they used the F word, as in that a lot of people would use against gay men. And I was like, I guess gay men are reclaiming this term again. And in that sense, okay. But I'm not a gay man, so I would not use that word. You know? Yeah, maybe. It points out the problem instead of... Yeah, anyway. Well, let's leave it there. I think that my point is I understand the reclaiming of terms, but I know that a lot of people are using it disingenuously. Yeah, not okay with it if it's offending someone else. Not a hill worth dying on, for sure. Yes, the C word is, you got some good C's and bad C's. It is a word that can be used for technical terminology as well, but 99% it's used as an insult for sure. Oh. Yeah, something words or slurs. It makes sense. Bula, hello. Back in the 80s, gay men were looked at in the same light as men who fancy other men, and that was actually illegal. Yes, exactly. I think a lot of people actually forget about the illegalities, which is ridiculous. Drum up a rest at the glory hole. That's ridiculous. No, you're all right, Ron. You're fine. Okay, I suppose people with full mental facilities can take their own words back. Yes, because we really at a loss for them. Hey, I wouldn't say it isn't homophobic. I think that in itself is being ignorant. My day's going all right, Anonymous. Thank you so much. But we are going to call it there and go play some games. So if you are over on YouTube and you want to play some games, come over to Twitch. It is the best place to experience the gameplay. Technically, you can check out XClem Plays, but you are unable to live chat if you're watching on XClem Plays. So I highly recommend Twitch. Thanks, guys. I think that was a nice chill afternoon to ease us into things. Your god is fake. Luckily, I don't believe in one. Thank goodness. That is, oh my goodness. I am so glad that I had someone who told me that the god I don't believe in is fake. Yeah. Unless you're telling someone else, but anyhow, that is another story. Okay. So, I will see you guys tomorrow if you are on YouTube. So we're doing some React Wednesday tomorrow if you want to come hang out and check out some of the videos that have been shared by the community. And okay, yeah, I realized my mistake immediately, Solitaire. Sorry. I was lashing out and that's my fault. I've had a lot of other people say a lot of gross things and that's on me. That's on me. I was lashing out because I thought it was towards me. My bad. My B. My B. Pookie is I don't know if I like the term pookie. I kind of do. Does it? What? Okay, hold on. Aw, Pookie's kind of cute. I don't hate it. Anyhow, that's just a side tangent. My bad. Okay. So, point being, if you're on YouTube and you've enjoyed yourself, consider subscribing so you can see the notifications. And join the Discord if you want to stay up to date on what's happening. And like I said, if you want to play some games, check out XClem Plays or XClementine on twitch.tv. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. Probably tomorrow. Okay. Bye. Bye, YouTube.